Hello, welcome to Fish Fingers and Custard, Exposure Network's Doctor Who Up Show, where we break down and discuss each and every episode of the show. My name's John Blighton. Joining me this week, of course, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, John, excited to be here because I still exist.
Don't make me laugh. This week, we're talking about Lux, Season 2, Episode 2, written by Russell T. Davies, of course, directed by Amanda Brotchie. Synopsis was, the quest to get the Belinda home leads to an abandoned cinema, hiring its terrifying secret. Ash, what did you make of this week's animated partly episode?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. Obviously, interesting mystery, and obviously we're continuing down this pantheon of gods that the Doctor is kind of encountering constantly, it seems, during this run of the show. And then he got super meta out of seemingly nowhere for a very short period of time. Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I don't think it was I wasn't blown away in any way, but it was a fun episode. I will say I'm enjoying Belinda. I think she's great, but I think it's a little bit frustrating that we've got a new companion so soon after we had Ruby, because we're treading a lot of ground that we already covered with Ruby last season. Him having to explain Time Lords and his history and Gallifrey and all that. Again, I'm sure that might be a little bit frustrating for new viewers as well. But yeah, or for people who just started getting Doctor Who issued his run. So,
well, I'll tell you, if you want to dive into the Belinda thing straight away, before getting into the actual episode, last week, first episode, I was really liking her, and I was liking her because spicier, not taking any shit. I thought it was going to have a bit more of a combative relationship between her and the Doctor. However, that all went down the pipe this week, where apparently they would be offensive by the end of the episode.
I mean, it was a little bit competitive, right at the start.
Right at the start, but I mean, very quickly. By the time
once
we
you
get
into
to the outfit
adventure,
change,
then you've got nothing else. No, let's go back inside. Let's leave before we, solve the mystery of what's going on. But, eventually she's pulled into by the Doctor's charms, which it would be a pretty boring episode. It's we're just going to get in the ship and we're going to go.
No, I don't want to see her arguing with him all episode, because I agree that would be just sort of annoying to watch as a viewer. But I just feel like you could have played it a little, I just feel like I should have just a little bit more of that. She just seems to lose. The character doesn't seem I don't know. I don't know really how to say it, to be completely honest. But it doesn't seem like she was holding on to that spiciness of her from last week, and by the time we get to the end of this week.
Everybody's spicy until you get something you actually want right in front of you, you know what I mean? Going to 1950s Hollywood.
Just so she can experience segregation.
Yeah. Admittedly, there were no real segregatists. Everybody was bending the rules because they didn't think it was right. In this episode of the real characters. All
right, actual episode, I guess.
Sure.
I would agree with you. I wasn't blown away or anything. However, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Basically because of Alan Cumming as the Mr. Ring-a-Ding, and the animated and then fourth wall breaking stuff, which I don't think any of it was mind-blowing. However, it made for a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah. And
obviously, as you can tell, I think just the delivery of "Don't make me laugh" that just tickled something. It was good. I also think just the special effects and everything were well worth pointing out how good I think overall they looked and done. I think them interacting with an animated character at the start and everything looked really well. Them the different stages of animation, all these different things, him getting really big at the end, all these things looked really good. I thought, we're used to years of Doctor Who looking subpar shitty, and obviously this last couple of years with some of that Disney money, you can see the
good quality TV show, special effects.
Mm.
Not Game of Thrones, but it's
definitely not. But it's better than what we would usually be used to just on BBC, right?
Yes.
I think that's So, but I guess just to go through the episode somewhat. So, episode starts there. Doctor's still trying to work out how to get Belinda home. Mentions they're bouncing off this particular thing. What mentions the exact date. Hey, what's happened on this thing? What could have happened on Earth that's causing TARDIS to bounce off? Does some sort of calculations, works out that if we go here to here to here to here and we stop in all these places, basically we'll be able to get you home. AKA, here's the season, of trips and stuff so we can do. So it makes the first trip. They land in 50s. I can't remember what state, if they ever said it was or whatever, but then they get out. I guess the other thing I found funny is that they've only got to get out for all of what seems like a minute to charge up this machine he's using to get triangulation to go for the next jump so he can find their way back to Earth on that specific date and year. However, they still get dressed up fully for what potentially could have been a minute if they had of left and not.
She was wearing pajamas.
Yeah, I know. But
they were going to Miami. She didn't realize it was at nighttime.
Yeah, it's fair. I did like the delivery of Ncuti just saying, was it the outfits? This is where the fun begins. But also, apparently, time slows down when you're in the wardrobe because they walk in and they walk out 1 second later and they're completely changed,
Yeah, she's dressed like a what's her face from West Side Story.
The actress or the character?
Say the actress.
Oh, we're not allowed to talk about it.
Ariana DeBois. No. There we go.
Okay. No, she's all right. We can talk about it. So.
You thought I was talking about the other guy?
Snow White. We can't.
Oh. No, I'm pretty sure Ariana DeBois had the yellow dress. I don't think.
Yeah, I think she did, yeah. So we meet Linus Roache playing Reginald Pye, who, I'm going to be completely honest, they're talking about this person, like, we know how his story ends and all these things. I'm like, who? Like, have you heard of this?
Oh, Rock Hudson, right?
Yeah.
That's who they're talking about. Yeah, he's got a tragic story, I believe.
Rock Hudson, sorry, that's what I was talking about. I got the character names mixed up. But Rock Hudson, sorry, I didn't know anything, to be completely honest. So
he was gay at the time. Well, he was gay during that time period, which obviously was not
allowed.
Yeah, so he kind of fell into heavy drinking and smoking and died at like the age of 59 of AIDS.
59. There you go. Okay.
There you go.
So that's mentioned. They go into they just have a look at the cinema, realize it's blocked off. They're like, that's interesting. We could leave now, but we could also go have a cup of coffee. So they head on over to the diner. I was trying to think what Americans call them. Diner. Talk to the really weird and very chatty dude that works in there.
If you're working at 4 o'clock in the morning, you'd have to and not starting at that time. You'd probably be chatty with anybody who comes in.
You reckon you would be? If you worked on
No, but I'm antisocial, so.
Okay. It's pretty social. Can you be antisocial and record several podcasts a week? Is that
introverted? Okay.
That's fair. People ask what I do sometimes. I'm like, I don't do anything. I just go to work and record podcasts. Like, what do you? Sometimes there's downtime in between. Like, what do you mean? What do I do? Like, fucking hell. Well, what do you want from me? Anyway, so they. Oh fuck! Sorry, I'm going all over the place. My notes are a scramble here, to be completely honest. The episode obviously starts with the introduction of Mr. Ringding and the people in the cinema before Doctor and Belinda arrive there. get to see them all watching the character come to life, start talking to them, which is funny because that one dude, he's like, "You talking to me?" So yeah, you with the glasses, not
Yeah.
that made for a fun little scene to play out. And you never see what happens to them, but typical Doctor Who like scream cut to intro music sort of monsters getting someone moment. So
yeah, I mean it was really cool, like from a cinephile kind of perspective of the whoever the projectionist is in the back. Like obviously they're showing a newsreel of the current events first, and then switching over to the cartoon. Project with the separate projector and that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool.
No, it was cool. And then so we get there. They talk to the people in the diner. They talk about how all these people missing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Apparently they talk about how the person running the cinema, this Reginald Pye character, he's in there. He's trapped himself in there. He's locked in. The cops all walk through the place. They couldn't find anything, but he's still in there. So of course now the Doctor's intrigued. So they head on inside to figure out what's happening, and they bump into and meet Mr. Ring-a-Ding, who is again I think a lot of fun, especially, and I really enjoy the different so he's the god of light. That was what?
Yes, that's right.
God of light, which is as we see more of these god characters pop up in and whatever this is leading to, which is interesting because when you think back on the special and the God of Death and everything, you're like, this is the end of the storyline.
Surely God of Death is the end.
Is the end game, but apparently not. So we're still going through them. I like the whole little, comes out, talks like that and whatever else. And
don't make me laugh.
They think, don't make me laugh. They have a little fun with him and appreciate him, and how Belinda's like, they don't have holograms because she thinks it's just a trick and all that sort of stuff. But then, Doctor realizes could be a potential nasty, and
they try to escape.
They'll back up from him and whatever else. But then, I'll say I really liked when the Doctor, I can't remember if it was now or later, but there's that moment where him and the Lux has that moment where he's like, "Oh, you're the guy who, took down this god, all that sort of thing." Like that. It's like the words traveling through the grapevine about the Doctor taking down all these different gods, which I thought was cool. They escape. They go up. They talk to the Reginald, running the cinema in his room. They discover where the other people, they're basically trapped in film. The other people who were in there. He's allowed to live, I guess.
He's allowing the projections to keep getting played because Lux has given him like a hologram manifestation of his wife.
Passed away wife.
Passed away,
yeah. Which
and he's holding on to that as keep Lux around.
Which was a cool effect, I think, as well when she comes in, because
it was like black and white, and then she kind of
she's like black and white and everything, which was I thought looked good. So then obviously the Doctor and Belinda get zapped by light by Lux as well when he makes his way into the room, and then they get turned into cartoon characters, and then they have this moment which I guess it narratively allows them to sort of speed up the Doctor and the companion's relationship a bit, because he has to open up a bit earlier.
They just have to express their feelings, so they can become 3-dimensional characters.
It's a bit on the nose, but
yeah, sure, why not?
Take it. Yeah, I think it's especially as to what you were saying before about we literally just had a companion. We're going through some of the beats, like this 5-6 minute scene, however long it is with them back and forth and turning 3-dimensional characters, literally allows them to speed through potentially what would be a season's worth of character growth between the Doctor and a companion usually. Gallifrey, 2 hearts, blah blah.
But
blah.
it also probably shuts down that conversation of I don't know if I can get you home. It's like shuts down her sudden urge to try and get home, I think.
Also, I guess her doubts, because like they have to both be telling the truth for it to be working.
Yeah,
is the presumption. Like they can't be telling bullshit. So to form their 3D people. Then we get
So they try and like pull the frames down to go get out, but they realize that's not going to work. So instead, they push their way through the frame.
They broke through my TV at home.
Yes.
It's crazy. And they climb out into a living room, and it's a bunch of people
bunch of Doctor Who nerds.
Yeah. Sitting there watching the show, and one's wearing a jumper with the little creature from last season. Oh, fuck, I forget what it's called now, but I thought that was funny. Then, or from the special, actually, with the David Tennant. I think it was.
Oh, yeah, the creature. I thought it was Yoda. I thought it was Grogu.
Thing, but
no, it's the... whatever from the first special.
Yeah. Which I thought was fun. But yeah, then the Doctor and Belinda sit down. They sort of jump cut a little bit. They're sitting down, relaxing, being told all about how they're actually fictional characters. It very much seems like the Doctor's just believing it. He's like, oh, crazy. Yeah.
Sure,
but maybe to him, it is like, I don't know. You know, if there's all this time and space, he knows parallel universes are a thing. I don't know, like,
yeah,
maybe it's less, like, maybe he's like, yeah, this could, maybe we're just in a different universe, you know? Like, I don't know. Because he seems very much like, yeah, this could be a thing. But Belinda's like, wait, hold on, I'm not a TV character. Like,
but then think about it. They say what their favorite episode is.
Yeah, it's very.
They all say Blink, and he is aware enough that it isn't one of his adventures.
Yeah,
you know, which is what's a funny scene. Funny.
It's very funny because it's just very much. I don't say making fun of, but it is like that Doctor Who fan thing of like, what's your favorite episode? Blink. You know.
Yeah. Blink is just held so high.
Yeah. And just what's Belinda say? It's like, what was it? Oh, it's one where they can't you can't look at it.
Blink.
Can't blink. And I think Belinda goes like, sounds riveting. Yeah. Which, to be fair, I have attempted to explain that episode to people before who do not watch Doctor Who, and try to explain it like it's this like really good thing you should watch. It'll get you into the show, whatever. And like explain the plot before. And I've had someone look at me like, sounds fucking boring. Like, what do you, you know, how's that? So I get it.
Yeah,
feels. But yeah, then that's the interesting thing, I guess, is the characters actually. I guess
they believe
like
they're
them.
Self-aware enough to believe that once the Doctor leaves, they will no longer exist because they're no longer needed.
Yeah.
For the plot of the TV show.
Yeah. But they decide to do the right thing anyway and tell them. Even though they know that once they leave, they will supposedly stop existing. And then they tell the Doctor leave, and the Doctor and Belinda leave. And it was actually sort of sad, to be honest. I thought it was. And then, one of those characters before they leave actually sort of spoils the episode. Says, "Oh, you know, it's sort of bad writing anyway because just
figure out the ending
because we're over here recording a podcast about it anyway." But so I found it pretty average everything because I figured out at the end that they're going to burn it all anyway. Ha! Sounds silly. But of course, that's what's going to happen anyway. So they escape the world. Doctors gets grabbed by Lux. They, he's draining his. Basically, the Doctor's energy to
regeneration energy, so he can create his own body.
Turn into a real boy.
Yeah.
Belinda runs, starts chucking the film everywhere because it's highly flammable. You would know this if you're watching Glorious Bastards.
I don't know if is film
a certain type of film. Yes. Okay, there is a certain type of film that is combustible. Now, whether or not they specified it is no. And this whole thing, but there is 100%. There is a certain time of film that is combustible because I've looked into this before because there are several movies and TV shows that use this as a plot element, especially during things set during the 50s and stuff, including Glorious Bastards. And I've like looked it up before, and there is a specific type of film that they stopped using
because it is combustible.
Because it is combustible. So let's just choose to believe that is for whatever reason.
Well, we have to because it exploded.
Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with. We're going to take here. But so it does that. Blows a hole in the wall. Doctor's okay. But then the sun's getting in, and Lux is getting all the sun. And
what's the one thing I don't do?
Yeah, go outside. Yeah, it was a riddle, a really hard riddle. Not really. He grows and grows and grows. And I think he gets high at the same time because by the time he got to the end, he was like, I like that. I was like,
I know. Like you expand, like when Ant-Man expands, to super big, he gets lightheaded. So
Sure. Yeah.
it's just facts.
Mm.
The blood can't go to your head quickly.
Yeah, so and then he disappears. He becomes part of.
He becomes infinite light.
Which is one way to get rid of someone without killing them, I guess. Don't make me laugh. Yeah, and then pretty much that is the end of the story.
Happy ending. All the people get released somehow.
Yeah. Somehow all the people are released, I guess, because they blow up the film and burn it and they pop out somehow. Or maybe it's because Lux is killed or turns infinite, whatever. They all come out. That weird kid has a moment talking to everyone. And then Mrs. Flood turns up and says, "Look, I've got a show for you kids." And then,
Wait, that was Mrs. Flood?
Dash.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I could recognize
the YouTube commenter will come for you. So she turns up, does the whole thing. Somehow she's 1950s. Who knows? What are we saying she is at this point? I don't remember if we talked about this last week. Are we getting the end of Mrs. Flood's storyline this season? Like,
I'd hope so. I mean, if they're going to do it every single episode, then surely. You know what I mean? I can't imagine them doing it every single episode, having a cameo every single episode. They're not.
Don't make me laugh.
Hold it up. Like, not complete the story this season, especially with all the rumors going around at the moment. Anyway.
I'm ignoring it. I haven't looked at anything because I feel like if I look at it, it'll help. It'll just then we're just on here talking. I'm just on here talking about rumors. Are they believable rumors?
I don't know.
Okay. Good Scooby-Doo joke in this episode as well.
Yes. You're Scooby-Doo. No, I'm Velma, which is true. Scooby-Doo is a dog.
Yeah. It is a very good bit. Yeah. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
I will also, there's also another line where he mentions, obviously that it's segregated. And he says, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he implies he's not going to be able to change the world, but he waits for the world to catch up, I guess, which is weird when he's only been a black person for 2 years.
That we know.
For centuries of his life.
Yeah.
Millenniums of his life.
Walk a year in a black man's shoes and an eternity. You know what they say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will say also though, that scene I think is probably the best scene in the episode when he's in the diner talking. Just that I think the delivery and just that little back and forth with him and that woman, where she says about that box giving her hope. Like obviously she's just talking about it being a police box, but just being like, oh, does that box bring you hope? It's like, yeah, that brings me.
Yeah, which kind of makes it kind of shocking when she comes back later. Or Lux is pretending to be her.
Yeah, that was shocking. I was like, this fucking bitch. I was rooting for her. Like,
and then when the doctor points out he's wearing a New York NYPD uniform in Miami.
It's all in the details.
Yeah.
Anything else from the 6th episode?
No. I think we nailed it all. It was very weird that his wife's projection gave him the matches. Like, why?
Don't make
I guess whatever reason.
I'll tell you what, I really like this episode for that line. That line is fun to say.
Don't make me laugh.
Don't make me laugh. It's fun. It is fun to say. All right, thank you very much for joining us for Fish Fingers and Custard this week. We'll be back to don't make Ash laugh while he's drinking water. We're back next week to discuss next week's episode, which is I don't know. Look, they're on an alien planet, is what it looked like, to be completely honest. In the
next week's episode, The Well.
The Well, yeah. Weird title, but co-written as well by someone I looked ahead before.
Russell T. Davies and Sharma Angel Waffle.
Yeah, so interesting. Yeah, join us next week. We'll discuss this week's episode. Let us know what you thought about the episode. Of course, you can comment wherever you're listening to this or watching this. And check us out on Explosion Network. Follow us on Blue Sky at explosionnetwork.com. And we'll see you next week. Until then, just don't make me laugh.